Okay, another thing that if you go over here in this little, you know, I don't know, drop, and then go to units and metric. I keep it at metric because I'm pretty much used to it, but I might use imperial probably later on. But if you want imperial, then you will go to feet. But I'm just gonna go metric. And the cube is 2 meters by 2 meters. So what are we gonna start with? Okay, let me see. So let's try to create the reference, right? You always want to have something. This is your avatar, right? If you fancy, you can create a little avatar, but I don't really normally do it. So I just create Z at 175. So it's about like average height of a person, 1, 1, and that's it. This is my avatar, and I usually put him a little bit high like that, and this is my environment, right? So you start with just a plane and maybe like stretch it out a little bit. So the first thing that I do, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, and I'm gonna show you inspiration, right? Like, why do you create worlds, right? You have to have an inspiration. For me, I'm always inspired by nature. If you go look at my portfolio, you see that most of my environments are always nature. So I always have interior that comes out exterior. So you always kind of walk out, walk inside. There's rocks, there's trees, there's plants, like there's stuff like that. I like to mix that. And here's my trick for you. I use Google Maps. A lot of times when I have time, or I just like, or I just watch a video, maybe a travel video, a travel blog, and I see a hotel or destination or something, I immediately go and I put like little flag, so I know I can come back to that destination. And when I have time, sometimes I just walk around and I travel around the, the planet and looking for different places. And then I create a folder where I can save my skyboxes. You have to click on this person to access the skybox. Like say this one. I don't know where I am. I just don't know. I'm just looking. Again, this is not bad, right? So, and then this is what you do. Like this is how I get inspired. When I find, and there is a uploader, again, it's in the file. Can you see the uploader, Street View? This window or not?
I don't see a folder.
Uploader, this Street View download. Okay, let me try one more time.
No.
Let me try one. So this one, you can download it and install it on your desktop. Once you find something that you like, you click the link over here and download panorama. Maybe you can reduce, you don't need that big resolution. You just go down and see what works. Click the, for example, this one. Click and then download panorama. It will download to the folder. I have Dolomites Italy folder, but it's not Dolomites anyway. And then it will give you this 360 image that you can use for your worlds. All right. Any questions? Okay, let's go back to Blender. So I like to see what I'm building, right? So again, if you are inspired by nature, if you want to see what's going on, I kind of start looking, I need to see a skybox right away. I put just a simple sphere, I shade it smooth, and also again, pay attention to your triangles. Right now we have 900, maybe probably I can reduce it even more. But then you go to your cube. So your cube is going to be, maybe just call it avatar. Start naming your stuff. Round. And skybox. Okay. So you don't need that part, but we keep it for now because it's just there. when you want to test the skybox, you go to materials, create new material, skybox. And then we're going to go to shading, image texture. I have a few textures that I found earlier. Sometimes it glitches. Let's open again. Resources, skyboxes, and I found a really cool one that I wanted to work with today. I think maybe this one. I really like this one. So now we have our basic world. And what's great about it is that you can make it bigger or smaller, or you can go like bring it up or down. And then you kind of can adjust how your skybox should look, because if you bring it to Unity, Unity doesn't have that, right? Unity doesn't have that opportunity for you to easily move your skybox. So that's why I really like to test it. And sometimes I just build my world using that, I just bring in the whole skybox there. So, and then for the ground, what I like to do is assemble the ground. I'm pretty much take the picture into the Photoshop. Sorry, any questions? So I take the picture into Photoshop, so we create ground. And then we're going to shading, image, textures. And we go to resources, skyboxes. I actually did that this morning. So this one comes from the same image. I just cut it out and I created this seamless, and I also added a tutorial about seamless, how to create a seamless texture in Photoshop. I think it's there. We're gonna go, okay, so let's go to ground, unwrap, UV editing, and then we can just stretch it here a little bit. So now we can see a little bit, repeating, but it's okay. Normally you don't see it here. So that's why this is your pretty much basic. Let's put roughness, specular, and then I would just add a normal map. If I Google normal map, and I will just drop a normal map in here. All right. Any questions?
Okay, so I have a question. So tell me if I'm doing this wrong. When I do my skyboxes and blenders, I go to the world properties and I choose an environment texture.
Mm-hmm.
Is that wrong?
I don't do it because what happens is it's very stretched. It's like when you add it on the background, it's not real, like it's very big. So you will not have that. This is not how it's gonna look. If you take it to spatial or something, so this is what you're gonna see. I don't ever do that. So there are only two options for the worlds. Either you just create a skybox like what I have here, or you can take the same skybox when you tested it. So you can use it just for testing. But then you go into Unity, for example, and then you would use it as an environment skybox if you're happy how that looks. If you don't, but for example, you just want to bring it higher, right? Like you have something that you just want it higher, you can normally do it easily in Unity. Or you want to bring it lower, so you can.
Okay, stranger, I'm in a meeting right now.
Okay.
But can I call you back? You think calling me a damn stranger, and I came out here and I seen you and come see me.
We hear you.
Me a damn stranger.
We can hear you.
We
can hear you.
All right. So, but also, since we're already talking about textures, another thing that I personally purchased, but also you can have it for free, is Polyhaven, right? You guys probably know Polyhaven. but there is a way to create an asset browser for Polyhaven. I paid $30 for it, but it's free. It's also in the GitHub, and I dropped the link also in the document. If you don't want to bother, you can go ahead and maybe just pick a ground texture from here, from the library, which is going to be great, easy and fast. Why I don't do always, because I just want it to be seamless with my skybox. But sometimes, I do. It's very easy. You can change it to rocks, so you can change it to this, or this, or something like that. So Polyhaven is really great. And accessing it, you just split the screen in half, go to asset browser. All right. Any questions? I think I'm going to keep my.
Did you access Polyhaven from within Blender?
Yes. So what happens is that you get a Polyhaven, you buy Polyhaven, or you download it for free, right? Polyhaven asset.
What? Oh my God, it's an add-on. Oh my God.
Yes. And it's on GitHub, and then you go install like normal add-ons. You go whenever you download your folder. I think I have the Blender add-ons. I don't have many add-ons here. All my machine tools, SketchUp importer, Polyhaven asset, power save, and then you just click on it, and then it will install, and you click here. And then it will give you an option to fetch assets. Like originally, it's like a few thousand, maybe 1,000 assets.
Wow.
35 new assets that you can use.
Is it a free free add-on?
It is, but I didn't know it, and I paid $30, and I don't regret it. I, supported the developer. All right. So let's maybe create a new collection. And put like skybox, or maybe landscape. So this is how pretty much I start my my development. But there is another add-on that is that is pretty much meant to create landscapes. Let's go back to 3D viewport. Go to edit preferences, and then go to A and T. Let me just go landscape here. A and T landscape right here. It's a built-in add-on. You don't have to purchase it. You don't have to install it. It's already here. And then what you can do is create. Maybe I'll just hide my. Hold on. This is uncomfortable. I'm going to hide my avatar, and then you can create Control A, mesh, and then hold on, we can go landscape here, mesh and landscape. So what happens is that you get access to all these tools here, operator presets, that you can create a cliff, you can create dunes, or I like canyons here, for example. Like I use canyon for one of my worlds, and then you can maybe do a mesh size a little more. But also, again, keep attention to the size. Oops. If you click out, it will, so try not to click out, because if you click out, it will disappear. So let's try to do subdivisions to 100, 100, maybe even less. No, that's too much, probably. Let's do 50. Mesh size, let's keep it to 2. So you kind of have to play with it, and then you click out. If you click out, you don't have anymore. And then let's try to go back to split the screen and maybe go back to Polyhaven, and then just drop some grass here, maybe cliffs or something. Well, it's going to be ugly because you have to unwrap it. Once you unwrap it, if you're going to go to UV editing, and then you can stretch it a little bit like that. So you have that. So this one is like pretty easy, but again, needs more work, but something that you can do pretty fast. Let's see, maybe something else like that. Yeah, it's okay. So, and then you can pick a location for your avatar. Avatar is too big, so don't ever change avatar. Keep the avatar size the way it is, because this is the size of a human, right? Just keep your landscape, and also try not to move avatar to where you want it to be. Move the whole landscape to where you want your avatar to spawn, because this is pretty much how it will get imported into the world. I used to use this preset, but I don't anymore, because I feel like I never want this to be the way it is, but I think it's great, you know, for somebody who doesn't really know, and you can create like really cool Wild Wild West or something like that. Any questions? Okay.
I don't know if you went over this already. I was kind of in motion a little bit, but if I wanted to make my own like skybox out of my own pictures, is it a different process for that?
If you want to do skybox out of your pictures, there is a process. It's probably going to be a little complicated. I've done it before, but if you have like a good panorama, if you just have a good long panorama, right?
So let me stop you right there. So what if I'm an artist?
Yeah.
I want to create my own art skybox.
Yeah.
I want to create it. Is it like a template, or do I, you know, like?
Yes, there is a template, but if you want to use it for Blender, right? If you want to use it for Blender, maybe you can take a free template from Polyheaven, right? For example, download it to your computer, put it in your Photoshop or something, and use the size of it, like use the size of it and use it as a reference where your horizon is going to be, right? So you use the horizon, you kind of use the dimensions. And then sometimes it looks pretty good. You don't even have to warp it, you know, to make it to warping. It needs to be seamless. So, you know, make sure that your edges are not like sharp edges. So in Photoshop, you can kind of scroll and fill in all of the stuff. So if it's pretty much seamless all around, I think it should look fine. I've done that before. Yeah, and then what you do, you just take that image, and then go to the same, you know, if you go to UV editing, like for example, this will be just like a regular, you see that image like that?
Yes.
So this is what your skybox is, a regular image. Just make sure that you have a horizon and then something on top.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So another thing that I want to show you is a few other add-ons that are really great. Let's put this into our landscape collection. So add mesh. It also mesh. Let's do it again. Mesh here. Add mesh extra objects. Right? It also shipped with Blender. You don't have to purchase it, you don't have to install it, or add curve, and also add curve extra objects, add curve extra object, click on it. And then what happens is that you're gonna have access to, let me go to modeling and close it out. You will have access to a whole bunch of different additional geometry that you didn't have before. And it's also great if you don't know how to model, you can pretty much quickly go and maybe do some extra. Like for example, they have wall factory that you can create, and then you can do all kinds of stuff here. Depth, variant, minimum height, top, bottom, stuff like that. So again, without even modeling anything, you already got it. But let's go to our statistics and see how much we already have. Statistics, so 2000. The way you reduce the mesh, if you go to edit mode, mesh, clean up, decimate geometry, and then over here you can have radio and kind of start reducing it. But it's pretty quickly going to, it's not nice, so don't do that. And maybe we can try mesh, clean up, limited dissolve or something like that, and then we can see if that works. So anyway, you can play with this, but make sure that you don't overwhelm your environment. And also, this will also give you access to stuff like honeycomb, which I know, we as developer really like honeycomb patterns. So this is a really great and easy way to do it. Another thing that you can do, and also again, I have a few tutorials in depth that you can go later on and look at that file. Extra simple star, and you can, again, just using this geometry, you can build up something on top of it, and everything is very customizable. You can even have a teapot here, also for testing purposes or for using. And also you can, I always do shade smooth. But if you've ever done it, you might have run into issue of bad shading. The way to do it, if you ever go to shade smooth, immediately go to this triangle, go to normals and auto smooth, and it will go back to normal. It will still be nice and smooth. Shade smooth, see how weird? Auto smooth. So it will be nice and smooth, but it will still be beautiful. Another thing that I want to show you is face orientation is very important. These are normals. So when you create an environment and you load it up in Altspace or Spatial or something, and then your avatar just falls through the crack, or like you want to put a wall there and they just walk through the wall, that's because your normals are flipped, and you don't ever want them to be red. Whenever somebody is facing something, if it's red, it's really bad. Your avatar is going to walk through that. So you always want normals to be blue, unless you don't want them, if they're red, for example, here, you don't, if they're not looking here, that's fine, right? So you don't have to keep it all the time, but keep that in mind. Another way of keeping track of normals, if you go here, and then you can see when normals are facing. This is a good way, because if your normals are flipped, you can also have very weird bad shading as well. Any questions? Another thing that I want to show you is curves. I personally really like curve. I started using them a little more lately. For example, you can create things like UV sphere, for example. Let's do icosphere. And then you can go Shift A, mesh, curve. No, it's Celtic curve. Oh, hold on, I didn't pick it. Shift A, curve. What's a curve? What is that? It's not coming. Let's try just a sphere. Not. I haven't. Oh, maybe it's here. Yeah. So it kind of like resembles the shape of the object that you're giving, and you will have access. But again, you see how big it is right now, so you don't want that. You have to always keep it. Let's put it one more time. Mesh. Maybe sphere. Oh, there's another one. Got lost in the metaverse here. Let's try to make it big. Let's try again. Shift A, curve, not filter curve. And then before you, we can try beveling like really, really small or something like that. Make it small, make it small, make it small. Okay, maybe like that. Oops, hard. Try again. Okay, so you can have this, but this is way too much. So what I would normally do, I would just, if I need that, absolutely, like I really I want the shape, I would start cleaning it like really hard, a lot. So you don't want that, that's way too much. If you turn it into convert to mesh, you can see how dense it is. A mesh, clean up, decimate geometry, and then just start reducing geometry. So it might slow down your computer, but again, if you want something like that, and you can put Celtic curves on any object, you can get like, I don't know, any shape and then create a shape like that. Any questions?
What was that add-on for that like that wall that you did? What was that add-on to be able to access that?
You go to edit preferences and go to add mesh. Right here, you can find add mesh, extra objects.
Okay, extra object,
Yeah.
add mesh, extra object. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then for the curve is add mesh extra curve extra objects. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about also. I want to mention another add-on that you can use. Also build in a sapling tree. Add curve sapling tree generator. If you go to curve and then hold on, I usually do like sapling. If you go sapling tree, so it's curve sapling tree. It will be over here. So I don't want to click out, but it and then you can go to presets. Let's see, Japanese, small maple, and then you can go, start doing some things here, and then you can go to leaves, show leaves, and then you can play with leaves as well. But be very, very careful because you can overwhelm. And I would again go. It's a curve. It's not a mesh at this point. So you always have to go. Just click on it, convert to mesh, and then you have access to geometry. But it give you, for example, you can see it's 67,000. I would never use it in my world. So if I need it, I would just go again, mesh, clean up. Either limited dissolve, and it went to 32,000 right away. So you and you can keep going down until it starts to look really bad, and then you stop. Oh wait, I go the other way. So when it starts looking really bad, you stop, something like that. But it's, again, it's 25, it's probably too much, but trees are normally very heavy. So that's why a lot of times I would use pretend tree, right? Like I would just have a cutout of something on the background. If something, I would use maybe a few trees in my environment, but mostly it's going to be just like a flat image. All right. So another add-on, if you go to edit preferences and you go to discombobulator,
I'm always discombobulated.
So now you have you will have access to this really interesting add-on, and let's try to do something. You can, if you want to create some kind of sci-fi assets or something, or maybe just to start and, you know, building something weird, go to mesh. Maybe we'll do torus, right? And then Shift A, mesh, discombobulator, and then you can go okay. So it will give you this weird I don't want to click. Somebody can you admit if I click I probably gonna lose it? Oh no. Okay, so and then play around, like you want it to be shorter, you want it to be weirder, you want it to be taller. Maybe you put your avatar in the middle. Remember that if you scale this, it's not going to add anything. You can scale it to be huge or you can scale it to be big. So scaling doesn't do anything. Only adding geometry will do something. And also, if you want to keep it, like you want your avatar to be in this weird environment, maybe like make some neon color tunnels or something, and then you can build out, again, you can build weird geometry and you can put this on any object. Made that a little too big. For example, if we do even cube, Shift A, mesh, discombobulator. Okay. And then let's give it a little height. Oh, also we might need to, slowing down. Something like that, you know, you can put it in your scene that there's like a spaceship or something like that happening. If you want to put it on a plane, just simple plane, make sure that you are subdividing it. If you don't subdivide, nothing will happen. A mesh, discombobulator. Let's see what happened. What have we done? What have we done? We created the huge, and it's not bad. It's 6,000 here. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not too bad.
So what is bad then? Like what is bad?
Bad is like if one asset is 70,000. Like even I would not probably use at 7,000. Maybe one asset worth 1,500 triangles. I don't know. It depends what asset. Like you always want to. I always go and I find a single vertex. If it doesn't do anything, I take it out. Because you always want to keep your environment small. You can create a beautiful environment, but if it's 2 million, 5 million triangles, it's not going to be any good for the metaverse. It's going to be slow, buggy. Like for example, in Altspace, it's not going to load on the phone. So my latest environment that I did is working on the mobile as well, and it looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing, actually jumping from one to another, another thing that you can do, add-on, which is also comes with Blender, called Archimesh. Go to edit preferences and then go to Archimesh right here. It will give you access to this button create that will just appear here. And then you can go to Archimesh and then you can start creating. For example, let's build, let's go just create maybe a wall here, and then you can create panel window, something, a door. So it will give you this. Also, you don't have to do much, right? It's already done for you here.
So I just want to say what's really cool about this. For some reason, I thought you had to have a headset to create.
No.
Yeah.
No. Then you can create a door. Right? So, oops. Let me try to grab the door. This little thing will take the door. So now you have the door here. Oops. And then you can even create stairs, for example. And then you can over here go to number of steps, right? So number of steps. Again, no modeling required, just put the Archimesh built-in tool free. And one tip that I found actually from Artsy, and I really like that, is to create little mesh over here and make it transparent. So because a lot of time your avatar would stuck on the stairs and you don't know, maybe the height of the stairs is too much. So if you create something like that and go up, it will easily, you know, your avatar will easily go. And you just put like a glass material. So another thing that you can do, of course, you want to cut holes through here, right? Oh, by the way, this Archimesh also has access. I think they have even cabinets here. Also, cabinet is done. Oops. Also, for some reason, it comes all these assembled. So make sure you kind of like just grabbing this bottom part, which is pretty hard to get. So maybe you can just put it like create a collection. New collection. Wait a minute. Like furniture. Furniture. So you kind of keep it separate, right? So one more thing I want to show you is to create holes, right? You can create a Boolean. So Booleans are great when you're creating your room environment. Let's say you want to create cutout for the door. Right. What you can do, you can create another collection for Booleans, or maybe you can cut cutters, and then create the wall. Go to Boolean modifier, Boolean, create, get your door, and then you can put it in the collection cutters, and then maybe just hide it, and it will give you, hold on, I didn't cut actually anything, so let's cut first. So let's go through the door like that. So now you have, and then you can just hide it, and it will be there, and you didn't cut anything. So if you just decided you don't want a door here, go back to your go back to your Boolean and move it, and then just hide it again, and the Boolean will be here. Oops, sorry.
Okay, so when I'm gonna use the Boolean modifier, so you saying you should get your door first and then cut around? Because I always have issues with what size the my cutting or the thing I cut with. I don't know
Yeah.
what size it should be. So you should
Yeah,
saying I should get my door first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you get your doors, you get your windows, and then you can go take, and then you can create. So this is a door. Just call it a door cutter. Door cutter. And then you can duplicate it, and then call it window cutter. So now you can make it bigger. Make it bigger. So, and then you just hide it. So now you should have, let's see if it's actually did it. Maybe I have to probably create it as another Boolean. Hold on, let's do add modifier Boolean, and then we'll do this one. So now you have two cutters, and then you just hide it, and now you have a window. And that way you can always, like, you don't want a window here, you just want to move it, because that always happens when you're in VR. You're like, oh, I don't like it here, so you go back to window cutter and you go move it here, and then hide it, and then you have a nice opening here.
Okay.
All right.
So we can make, excuse me real quick, so we can make these true to size, right?
Yes, always try to keep it true to size, because that's why when we did the avatar, I usually have it.
Yeah, because I'm about to ask you, how do you keep things proportionate and true to size? That's
Because the Blender tells you how big it is, right? So at the beginning, if you remember, I mentioned that you can change to units to imperial if feet is your cup of tea. I use metric. So what I do is 175. So this is like about the size of a regular avatar. So this is the normal size of an avatar, you know. So 175 is about the height in meters. So that will be about 6 feet, right? So if you go to imperial and then about 6, so this is like 570, like, let's say, yeah, I think that's a normal height, right, for a person. This is what they use as avatar. And then you just build around it. See, this tree is huge. You don't want this tree to be huge, because your avatar is going to be like, what is that? That's a giant tree. And then you just build everything around your avatar. And whatever the avatar doesn't see, if I want to keep this weird shape, I will remove everything behind it, like all of it. There will be nothing here, because I don't need it. What you don't need, you remove. And you can see 68,000 triangle. This is, it's not bad, but I wouldn't keep it. Again, I would probably reduce it less than half.
If I can add a suggestion here, Evie, if anybody wants to really understand proportions, have them make or look up floor plans that architects make. So what you want to do is look for CAD drawings. They're readily available online, or you can go to Homestyler. Autodesk makes a program Homestyler. You make your own drawing, basically, of a floor plan. You make that, once you've made that floor plan in those rooms, then you put it into a program like Blender or Max or something like that, and then you extrude the walls. From there, you can look at like door schedules, which tell you the exact heights and sizes that architects need for these things. And then you can kind of extrapolate those, put it together, and then you'd have everything in proportion as per an architect's schedule. So things are kind of more exact for what's expected. Obviously, it doesn't apply to sci-fi, but that's a general gist.
Yes, and here's the add-on, which is already in Blender. Import images as planes. You can go when you enable this add-on, and you have a floor plan, for example. Oops, sorry. A floor plan that you want to work, you go to mesh, images as planes, and then you just select. I don't have currently any floor plans, but you know, whatever you get, and then it will just it's too small right now, but it will import it, and then you can use it as your reference, like for example. And also when you add all of that, you have access to a single vert, single vert. And then it will, you can start extracting it. Hold on. I find it a little cumbersome, but so that now you can, like, for example, have your floor plan and go like around your floor plan, like whatever. Don't do that. Edge. And then like extract the walls and stuff, like following the plan. What I found about the plans, I used to do that as well. Like you would find something online, like a penthouse, and you do that according to a floor plan, but then you bring it to spatial or something. It doesn't look exciting because people in the metaverse, they like everything weird, like they like walk around, they like corners, they like stairs, right? So they like all this weird that normal architect wouldn't build normally. Any questions?
So I have I heard on YouTube or something, like in order to keep the poly count down, is it a like, I think it was an add-on or something, it was like a decimator, something like that.
I'm not sure about that, but I showed you my way of cleaning. Like
Yeah. Okay.
like landscape is pretty big, for example, right? This is very 44 mesh cleanup, limited dissolve.
It makes it
So it
dissolve.
will mess up a little bit, but I mean, just do your best.
Okay. Okay.
Or mesh cleanup. General, hold on, mesh cleanup, estimate geometry, and then just go. Especially, I do that a lot with 3D assets from SketchUp warehouse. Every single asset that I find on SketchUp, I reduce not by half, more than by half, and not even losing anything. Because the way they do it, for some reason, they always have double faces. They always have double something.
Got you.
So, and then I always go bring it here again, preferences, and then you can go to SketchUp, a SketchUp importer. So that way you go to file, import, and then import SketchUp scenes, right? And then you open it up, and you'll be able to load it up right away from SketchUp.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, another thing, I think one of the last things I want to show you, oops, I didn't want to hide it, is materials. Actually, this is one of the things that I usually start with, but if you go to spatial, they will give you material examples, right? You can just download the whole thing. I think I included that. I think I did. If I didn't, I will definitely add that. And I always keep it on my desktop or something, and then you can see spatial material examples. You can go to material examples, and then we'll give you this monkeys. And I delete the monkeys right away, so I don't need the monkeys, right? And then I would just keep this materials. It will already be here in your material. So like, for example, it will have material glass, right? And it will give you really good starting point for something cool. They also have material water. Like for example, this one I think could be water. But let me see, is it, I think it needs to be subdivided. Oops. Sorry. Oops, what am I doing? Hold on. Subdivide. Kind of material water. So you can have that already in your scene pretty fast. So I always have that handy. And they have plastic, PVC, soft material, iron, and all that stuff. So this is a really, really great starting point as well. All right, do you have any questions, guys?
I'm just like, I just want to know, once we create, I'm very early in this endeavor, so I'm just trying to figure out, once we create a world or a project in this Blender, where can that be used? Like, can it be used in other platforms like Descent or something
Yes,
like that?
so let me show you a few things that were created 100% in Blender and imported in Spatial.
Okay.
Before Spatial, just a few weeks ago, Spatial added Creator Toolkit, and I was approved. So I'm an official Creator Toolkit publisher. But before that, Spatial didn't have that option. So a lot of my worlds were built 100% in Blender. I'll show you a few. Okay, so this one, the tree house, came 100% from Blender. This one was inspired by hello? What happened? Can you see me? Hello?
Hi.
Oh,
See
I
you
can
now.
see you.
something happened. It says Zoom
Yeah.
quit.
It's just loading. It's just loading.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
loaded.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, still just, it's like it's frozen or something.
Oh, it says Zoom quit unexpectedly. Okay, let me try one more time. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so something happening to my Zoom. Are you still with me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I found this awesome skybox. I was browsing in Australia. I think one of the national forests they have, and I found this skybox, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's awesome. I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna make a tree house. So this
But I
one,
can't see your sky. I can't see your treehouse anymore.
oh no.
You still have Blender running, Evie?
Yeah, let me close it all. Good point. Okay, let's see. See it?
Yes, can see it now.
Okay. All right, so again, and then I started building a tree house, and it was pretty much came from my brain. I started building it randomly. And then I used a few assets from SketchUp Warehouse, but again, everything went through very, very thorough cleanup. You still can see it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what I was inspired by this skybox.
It's going about like 1 frame a second,
Really?
so it's a little slow.
Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. Let me send you a link in the chat that you guys can join me. You don't even need to be registered. Hold on. I know some people will not be able. Hold on, where's the chat? Oh, 1 second. This is the world right here in the chat. So let's see if somebody can come up here.
I don't see the link, Edie.
It's in. B has joined the space. It's in the chat. Somebody already joined it.
Hmm.
Can you see it?
I don't see it. I don't. The last message I have in my chat is 7:49.
Oh, okay. Let me try again. A few people has joined, so I'm seeing people.
Oh,
Yeah, Evie, I'm the same way. I only have the last message at 7:49 where it says it's stuck on the loading screen.
Wind storm I have here. Can you guys, who can see the link? Can you guys try to share the link in the chat?
Yeah, I don't see the link.
Okay, I'll share it. I'm Windstorm, Wendy.
Oh, okay. Can you try to share?
Yeah, I want to see that link. I'm trying to get over here. Okay, I see the link right here. Let me, I gotta move it. Okay, hold on.
There you go.
I see it up there. I just text it
Yep,
to
I
my.
see it now.
okay. I got the link too.
Do you still see the screen or is it still slow?
Something spatial with you. Let me see.
Oh, that's a damn mirror. I'm over here trying to walk through.
Here we go.
Can you guys still see the screen? Whoever couldn't join?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, is it
Oh
moving?
yeah, I can. Yes.
Is it moving better? Or still slow?
Still slow, but a little better.
Okay. So this one was again, and what I did, Blender, you build all the assets in Blender and then you save it as GLB file, right? So there's like file, save, export as, and you export as a GLB file. And then this whole environment will be, you'll be able to just export it, import it into spatial. And then wherever your avatar kind of was placed, right, where your pivot point was, this is where you will be spawning. Let me show you another one. This one also was made in Blender. I'm gonna be in different places at the same time. And then and the last one, I'll show you my latest one, my favorite. So this one is Ocean Villa. This one was my first one in spatial. I'll try to send a link as well. I can hear feedback. Okay. All right, let me tell me if you can see the screen and if you see the link in the chat.
I can see the screen.
Okay.
Looking good.
Okay. So this one, it was my favorite. I kind of put it together. I'm kind of embarrassed a little bit because this piano is not very clean. That one came from SketchUp, and I could have worked a little more on it, but whatever. I just tried to tried my hand in spatial.
Love the stairs.
Thank you.
The flowers on the stairs, and there's nothing wrong with the piano. I don't know.
I see all the imperfections.
Oh, well, we're critics of our own work. I mean, I agree. I think the piano looks great. I mean, I wouldn't know what's wrong with it.
And then if you guys want to jump into one of my latest one, and this is my favorite, and this one done in Blender, but the lighting and everything was was added in Unity, if using Unity Creator Toolkit. So all the structure as well I made in Blender. And the that lamp, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. The lamp upstairs that you can see, that was made with extra curve helix, mesh extra curves and helix. Guys, you want to join me here? Whoever was in the treehouse.
Yeah, where's the link?
This is the latest link.
Did she drop? Oh, here's the link. Okay.
You got some nice animations in there too, the waterfall
Yes.
over there and the fire over there in the pit too.
This was done with the particle system in Unity. It's not Blender. And great that in spatial you can sit down and look around. And this, look at the skybox. So I was looking for skybox and the Dolomites in Italy. There you go. Hello. Hi. He's jumping. Also, yeah, follow me on spatial because I'm gonna start moving. Where he go? How did you do that? I think I put blockers there.
I was like, uh-oh, I jumped off the cliff.
Oh no, I'll have to put blockers a little better. I guess I didn't do a good job here. But I'm gonna start moving all my worlds because I have so many worlds, and as you guys know, Altspace is closing, and I
I
have.
know. I was going to ask you about that. And I think about all of the artists and creators and developers who created an Altspace, and it's like, what, everyone, do they lose all their work, or how does that all work?
Yep, we're gonna lose all the work, but I have all the work saved, so everything is safe and protected. So it's not gonna take me that long to do it, but it's, again, you know, you have to sit down and transfer everything. But slowly I'm gonna try to transfer everything to spatial when I get a chance.
What happens when you build everything in Creator Studio though? Don't you lose all that?
Which one?
Well, okay, so you said you built this one in their Creator Studio, or you're
No.
going to build one.
No, it's
What
not
happens
a Creator
then?
Studio, it's a Creator Toolkit. I built this in, well, I build it first in Blender, then I take it to Unity, right? Unity game engine. And what Spatial does, they give you this package to be a bridge to load it up in Spatial. So they don't really give you any studio, it's just like a connect to transfer all your files into Spatial, but it's just Unity.
But they weren't Spatial wasn't building anything that you do everything online, you build your everything online, or you always have to use Blender or a third-party app?
You can, Spatial does have some assets and tools, but I didn't use any of them here, what they give you. Like, yeah. Again, all my worlds that I built before for Altspace, they also Unity, so all I have to do is find them, add to the Creator Toolkit, right? So I'm going to export everything as a scene, as a kind of like environment, load it up with the toolkit, and then transfer them to Spatial. Again, but they are bigger. Like Spatial has restrictions, and most of my worlds in Altspace are very big, because they were kind of earlier. I was building them maybe like 2 years ago, a year ago. I wasn't as particular about the size before, but now I'm very particular, and it's probably going to take me a long time to clean it.
I really like this cliff. This is nice. Like, yo, the glass ceilings, like really high, like that. Fortune. How, you built this from scratch? Like, how did you do this?
Yes, I built that from scratch. So I I saw kind of this idea, not this, but not exactly this, from a creator, Stefan, I forgot his name, and he built that house and I contacted him on Instagram. I said, can I rebuild it? And of course he didn't reply to me. So I rebuilt everything. I changed a lot. I changed maybe like 70%, 80%. So I kind of took this general idea
Yes.
of the space, and then, you know, I rebuilt it. Like he didn't have the outdoor space of waterfall or this. So I rebuilt everything to my, but like this, the idea of a cliff house kind of came from another creator.
Mhm.
But
I really like this.
was that?
I like it. And that's interesting that you said that too, because oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And then when I built that, I posted on LinkedIn, and I, you know, put his name that was inspired by this particular work of art that somebody else.
Right.
And outdoor environment, like also he didn't have this fire pit, or he didn't have this and that, so I just added that.
Got you. I see. Because I'm kind of doing it in like how I'm starting to bring my clients in. I'm starting like this first project I'm working on. I want to take his tire shop and make it VR, right? Like take a tire shop and do everything like, you know, make it like a storefront. So that's really interesting. You kind of say you can get inspired by different places and kind of put it in one,
Yeah.
you know, different. So that's pretty cool.
All right, so if you have any questions, let me know. I hope that you learned something today.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. Yeah.
amazing.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you so
Very
Yeah,
much,
helpful.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. I'm gonna hang out here for a few minutes in the space, and if you don't have any questions, I'll see you next meetup or VR World Builder Collective. Thank you so
Thank
much, guys.
Well, thank you
Thank you,
so
Abby.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
for sharing.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, it's
I'll
amazing.
be in touch.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you
this is
very
really great.
much.
Yeah, you like on Instagram or something?
I'm friends
I
with
No.
you in here too.
I am on
Facebook?
Instagram. I don't do much. I think, are you on World Builder Collective, Frederick?
World Builder Collective?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Archie's group. Archie's world.
Artist group.
Yeah, I'm in here. Yes.
Yeah, I'm there too. I'm there a lot. I'm posting there a lot. But if you want, follow me on Spatial.
Yeah, I'm already there. Remember from the last meeting? We
Oh,
had
yeah.
the
Yeah. So,
She's right
still
here.
following.
but I'm also on artist group a lot. So you'll see.
Okay. I was just gonna tag you,
Yeah,
just tag you when I do
I'm
pictures.
there.
Mhm.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
All right, see y'all later.
Bye. See you.
I know.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Okay. I'm gonna turn off the stop the meeting, and I'm gonna still hang out in Spatial. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. You're welcome.
I can start running now.